everybody. I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together, we are Pajamas. We are here, back, after a few hours. We've had time for the apartment to cool down. You've had some beauty sleep. Not that you need it.
I know, but I do it anyway.
Humble. And we are also here on the final episode of Season 3, the third part of this three-parter. And yeah, we get to find out exactly how the Doctor saves the day. We have a couple theories that we discussed in the last episode.
My guess is that it's actually Martha and not so much the Doctor that does.
Yeah. But I had a couple theories as well in the last episode. The usual graphic going up now for the temperature. It will be dawn here in a couple hours, so we're going to try and get this done before the sun, the evil sun, comes back out and makes the apartment hot again. And before our precious AC that we filled the apartment with goes away.
Maybe we ought to have a home underground.
That is one suggestion.
Well, consider we wouldn't have to worry about sunlight ever again.
But that being said, let's go ahead and start this so we can finish up Season 3. And yeah, are you ready? All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, wow. When you're there.
Martha Jones is there. She's going to save the world. A bit late for that. The labour camps.
Great. I'm travelling with a doctor.
Honeymoon phase is over. Aww. At least they're still alive. Dog.
Wow. Anything else I should know?
I've met Shakespeare.
Nice.
This man, God. Say hello, Gandalf. What if I suspend your capacity to regenerate?
There's a little golem.
That's only half the job.
Little baby Death Stars.
It's fine.
I wonder if they're little Dalek people inside.
I'll get in.
Once the Empire is established and there's a new Gallifrey in the heavens, maybe then it stops.
You should be grateful. After all, you love them.
So very, very much.
Who are you?
The skies are made of diamonds.
Skies made of diamonds.
They're us. They're humans. The human race from the future.
But that's a paradox. If you're the future of the human race and you've come back to murder your ancestors, you should cancel yourselves out.
And that's the paradox machine. They can regenerate. Literally bring themselves back to life.
Ah, the Master's immortal. Wonderful.
Except I've got no choice.
You might be many things, but you don't look like a killer to me.
What does a killer look like?
Not Martha.
You, when you die, the Doctor should be witness.
The Resistance knew about her son. That's why I came to find you, know your enemy. I told them that if everyone thinks of one word at one specific time, and that word is Doctor.
Stop this right now. Stop it!
Doctor.
I've had a whole year to tune myself into the psychic network and integrate with its matrices. I forgive you.
Time is reversing!
People on Earth are like, what the hell's going on?
Now I've got someone to care for.
Oh, snap.
Regenerate. Just regenerate. Please, please, just regenerate. You're an impossible thing, Jack.
Been called that before. I was the first one ever to be signed up for the Time Agency. They were so proud of me. The face of Bo, they called me.
Whoa.
I'd love to meet Agatha Christie, but she's brilliant. Okay.
I just can't.
No.
Spent won't leave them. Because he never looked at her twice. And she wasted years pining after him, years of her life. Because while he was around, she never looked at anyone else.
Oh.
You did it.
Oh. Wasn't an iceberg. The TARDIS. Well, a ton of stuff happened in this one.
So that's how the face of Bo knew that he was not alone.
That was a good reveal. That was such a good reveal.
And it also explains how he was able to live so long.
Yep. That was so good. That was so good. Like I talked about the last episode, how they've done really well at planting the seeds, and then they sprout. Like that was good. Like the face of Bo was freaking Captain Jack the whole time. And it makes perfect sense because he can't die. Well, he just keeps aging. And it also makes sense how the face of Bo would know about the other Time Lord. Because
Yes.
he was there.
He saw it happen.
Yeah, he's not some omnipotent being. He lived it.
Yes.
Very interesting. I prefer Captain Jack now, though.
Well, yes, he's someone that's very difficult to not look at.
Very true. And then season 3 ends. I assume every Tenet season is going to end with what? Last time we had Shrieking Bride, which in hindsight was a fun one-off. I thought she was a new companion, as I've said. But this time, the freaking Titanic crashed into him. Okay. And then Voyage of the Damned is... So it's going to be on the Titanic. The Christmas episode will be on the Titanic. Logistically, he can't save them. Now...
Imagine the huge paradox that would happen if he did.
Exactly. He's going to get his new companion on the Titanic. Also, let's talk about that. Martha's gone.
Yes, because, well, she said what needed to be said.
I don't mind the way they did it. I'm glad that she, at first, so I have to be here for the people and for everything. And then she's walked out and she's like, no. And then she went back in and finally said to him what he needed to hear. And as I've gotten to know the Doctor more, it's something that he can't help. Like, you can't make somebody reciprocate feelings for you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a human. He doesn't operate on that level.
She did have a point that she isn't going to waste her life hoping for something that will never happen.
Yeah, at best, she would just have to be a companion who traveled the stars with him. Which...
was fun, but she has her own life that she needs to make.
So I get it. I'm just really unhappy now. Because now I have I really like Martha. And I was hoping we at least get 2 seasons with her. And or that Tenet would be done when they were he was aging him. I thought maybe this was going to be he would have to, as you said in the last one, that he would have to regenerate.
Yes.
In some way. That's what I thought was going to happen. He's going to regenerate into the next Doctor. I know it's sacrilegious to say. I'm kind of done with Tenet. I have been for a while. I would like to see a new take on the Doctor from somebody different. And I know who comes next. this is actually the last one that I know who comes next. After that, I don't know who comes next after the next person. And I was never that interested in the next person, but now I am. A little flippy floppy there. Now I have this pit in my stomach. Don't be annoying. Martha was perfect.
Yes.
Well, I mean, not perfect, but she was just good. She was a good companion.
At least she isn't in an alternate universe, so it is possible that he could meet with her again.
Oh,
someday.
yeah. I do hope she comes back. I just wasn't ready for her to be gone yet. We only got 1 season with her. That sucks. Like, I had to suffer through 2 seasons of Rose. Ugh. So please just make the next one even better, I guess. Like, maybe no love interest, since we are progressively getting better with the companions, in my opinion. We've only had 2, but so it's progression of 2. I can't go through another, oh, doctor, oh, doctor, oh, doctor, oh, doctor. I can't. I will turn into the most curmudgeonly, pissy asshole person. And your patience for me will be gone. I will run everyone away. If I have to suffer through another puppy dog, lovey-dovey, it's just flames. Just flames.
He may not feel the romance, but maybe he feels the satisfaction of the adoration.
Oh, of course he does. He's an egomaniac.
Maybe that's why he still does it, even though he knows that eventually these companions will have to go after they come.
Ooh.
No pun intended.
Captain Jack.
I actually would like to see one in which he's a companion.
Yeah, I would be totally down for that. That'd be such a fun season. Captain Jack and the Doctor. That would be fun. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. Like, just the sexual tension would be off the charts. And I'm okay with that. Can't really lament about Martha anymore. I'm very sad. Very, very sad. And very worried. We got a lot in this weekend. A lot of Doctor Who, and we blazed through season 3, the last part of it. But now we have a week until we can watch it again. And I have to sit on this.
Wondering who's next.
Don't be horrible. Don't be horrible. Look. My carpal tunnel hurts. I'm gonna stop doing that. That's not that dramatic. I can't say anything more about that without repeating myself.
It's a bittersweet ending.
Yeah, it is definitely.
It's one that was needed, but it's as if it's here too soon.
Yeah. But it makes sense with Martha's character, 'cause as I've been saying the entire season, Martha is intelligent. She balances the heart and the head. But we'll get more into that when we do like a season 3 medal ceremony wrap-up thing. This is going to be a hard medal ceremony to do.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. But back to the episode. We have Saxon going just full megalomaniacal. Just, it's a year later. Saxon's just, even his poor wife, she's just a zombie, a walking zombie.
It actually looked like she was hit. Oh, did you see around the eye?
Yeah.
Which seemed to imply that he occasionally beats her.
Yep. Which I didn't know at the time, during the episode, I was like, "Oh, the honeymoon period's over, ha ha ha." And then the next time I saw her, I was like, "Oh," I didn't see it then. Like I wouldn't have made that was kind of inappropriate. I wouldn't have made a joke about that at all. It's not funny. There was definitely implication that he was striking her, which
definitely would have motivated her to want him to be destroyed.
Yeah, like she was just, like I said, just a walking.
She was tired of him.
She was drained. Like, even she was chanting Doctor. But also bittersweet for the Doctor. Because, Martha left and Saxon is dead.
So he's actually alone again.
Yeah. Like, just think of that. To think you're alone all that time, and then you're not.
To only then be alone again.
And then you see the person, you're trying to reason with them as they are just being drunk with power. I understand he wanted to build a new Gallifrey, but it just sucks for the Doctor that he gets shot, he won't regenerate, and he dies in his arms.
All because he wanted to win.
Yeah.
Best way for him to win, paradoxically, was to die.
Yeah. What if he now, like that would have been an interesting season with them two. Since Martha left, like she could be like, I can't be in the same ship. I can't travel with you and him together, and then still give the same speech, as to why. And then it would have made season 4 way interesting. Like you would have Saxon and the Doctor together It would either have been a rehabilitation type thing, or it would have been a cat and mouse. You know, Saxon schemes and plans, and the Doctor tries his best to reason with the closest thing he has to a brother.
Which is why it was so heartbreaking for him.
Yeah, that was rough. I will give Tennant credit though. I may not be a huge fan of his portrayal of the Doctor, but he really brought his acting chops to the season. Again, we'll go into it in depth. We'll go over that medal ceremony. But yeah, that scene really, stuck out. I like the misdirection of him thinking there's a gun that can take out a Time Lord, but it's not. The Doctor spent a year like tapping into the psychic field of all the satellites and all that, and then pretty much becomes like handsome Jesus and floats towards Saxon and then forgives him. The Doctor wanted so bad too.
That was actually unexpected. I would have at least have thought that he would have been depowered in some way.
Yeah. But the Doctor wanted so bad for, to help and the Doctor does try and fix things. That's in it. Like he's a doctor, It's the name he chose. Unfortunately, Saxon chose Master. So they have different motivations. But I think the Doctor thought he could fix them. He just needed time. And they're Time Lords. Some big occurrences, literally at the end, with the largest ship at the time crashing into the TARDIS. I'd say overall it's a fine conclusion to season 3. Did a good job of building stuff up, but I keep like talking about season 3 as a whole because we're done with it now. Can you stop doing that and stop with this episode? But this wraps it up, so I keep veering back to it. And I think the right term for the entire episode, and you said earlier, and I've said it a couple times, is bittersweet. I did enjoy Martha going and giving flowers to the lady and calling the other guy and just...
Well, the flowers was sweet, but as for the telephone, I still wonder what the point of that was.
Just hear his voice. I guess know he's alive or something. Would be my guess.
Which she could have done without doing that.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to my notes?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Philip's notes.
The final set of notes for season 3. So we start, it's 1 year later. Saxon's been in power for a year. I like that it said planet Earth is closed. I was like, ooh, what's been going on? Like he had this whole plan of like setting off rockets to attack a bunch of other people. And yeah, he was full on war mode.
It's interesting. The Doctor, it shows how they're opposites. That the Master wants to take and take, whereas the Doctor wants to give a helping hand, wants to...
Right.
One gives and one takes.
Well, as I said, it's in their names. Hurt, heal, kind of thing.
Yes, that like one is a positive charge and one is a negative charge.
Yeah, it was very much like a yin and yang thing. I did like the part in the show where they were originally trying to set up some kind of coup. So they were signaling each other with like the 3 fingers, and then Captain Jack out of his chains. I'm not going to say it was sexy that he was in the chains, but I'm also not going to say it wasn't sexy that he was in the chains.
Well, especially when he broke them. I really liked that.
It was a little disconcerting to see the family be servants for obvious reasons. I don't really like seeing that stuff. I guess it just hit home what kind of person he really was.
It was the most that he could do to make some sort of humiliation, though I would wonder...
torture them, yeah.
I would wonder then, maybe I'm not supposed to make sense of it. Like you said, the mania. Because I then wondered... You're done with them. Why do you still have them? Why not simply have them taken away?
Oh, torture. Like it's psychological warfare on Martha. She knows that her parents and sister and whatnot are still alive. Then we got Gollum Doctor. CGI Gollum Doctor. And the CGI wasn't that bad.
He had such big eyes.
He did. Yeah, a CGI was not that bad at all. It was nothing like a scorpion monster that Sherlock's brother turned into. So it wasn't too bad.
And continuing with the humiliation, he was put in a bird cage.
I like it. At first it was a dog. A dog bowl. I was like, because then I was like, because I'm all about the Doctor being knocked down a peg or two. But I was like, oh, okay. Like I've wanted the Doctor to be humbled for a long time now. But yeah. A little much. But it fit the character of Saxon perfectly. He was all about power and control and showing you that he had control over you. That was his thing. I control you and you're going to, be submissive. I like that they explained or how they explained the use of the paradox machine that the TARDIS turned into, that the future and the present or well, future and the past, but the present for them could be in the same spot at the same time.
Yes.
That all of the totally not Dalek spheres were the human people, like that little kid. It's like, dang.
It explains how, well, by killing them, then how are they going to still exist? And well, that's the paradox machine.
I did appreciate that when Martha was the first time, oh, actually both times, that Martha was explaining her case when she was leaving, the doctor let her go. He was like, okay, I understand.
Well, he went through someone doing that to him, so...
Well, I'm glad that humility will at least lasted this long. We'll see how much longer it lasts. I predict not into the next episode. And then we saw a hand take a ring from the ashes of where Saxon was burned.
It looked like the one that his wife had.
That's something to speculate. And then we had the Titanic. And then the rest of my notes are for my patrons over on Patreon. We have completed season 3. And we'll venture into Christmas time again. And then into season 4, the great unknown now. The great unknown for me. We don't know who's going to be the companion. It'll be female. That's all I know. Not even because I know who it is. It's just going to be female. Because it is. Either be prepared to roll on for, like, this season was smooth sailing. For the most part. So we either keep smooth sailing, or we go back into the bumpy ass of seasons 1 and 2. So prepare yourselves. If you know, most of you out there know that watch. So yeah, don't spoil it, obviously. If it's going to be bad again, I absolve myself of any of how I react to it, because I will not temper myself in order to appease anyone, really. My reactions are going to be sincere and real. And if I find a character annoying, I'm not going to hide it. But hopefully, it's not like that, because I don't want it to be like that. I want another season 3. This was enjoyable. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the final episode in season 3? Well, that's going to wrap this one up. We are done with season 3. As always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, the Christmas episode, where, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.